Hello, class. So, this is week 4 of distance learning, and this is the math section. Okay? We will be working on subtract 3-digit numbers. I'm on page 124. Okay. So, we're subtracting 3-digit numbers. So, the first thing it says is, Holly has 368. So, Holly, my marker's running out. Holly has 368 pet pal cards. So like trading cards. Dora has 243 cards. How many more cards does Holly have than Dora? Okay, so how many more than means what operation? What kind of math are we going to be doing? We're going to be doing subtraction, right? If we wanted to see how many they had all together, we would add. What we're trying to see is how many more does Holly have than Dora? Okay. So the first thing says, A on your paper, make sure you're on page 124. How many cards does Dora have? Write the number as hundreds, tens, and ones. So we're going to use these a little bit later. Everything's done here. So you're going to write the number in, we're calling those units, right? And the units they want us to write it out in is hundreds, tens, and ones. We know she has 368. Oh, I'm sorry, Dora. They're asking us Dora. We know she has 243 cards. What they want us to do is figure out how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones that is. Okay? So, we can start. How many hundreds? How many hundreds does she have? Remember, looking down at your paper if you can't see up here. She has 200s. Okay? She has 200s. I'm not writing 200. I'm writing that she has 2, and here it says hundreds. Just like on your paper, okay? How many tens does she have? This is the tens place. How many tens are there? She has 4 tens. And this is the ones place, right? Last thing. How many ones does she have there? 3. And that's your answer. That's your answer to A. Okay. B says, the model shows Holly's cards. Cross out the hundreds, tens, and ones to subtract Dora's cards. This is why I have these post-it notes, okay? So, each one of my post-it notes has 100 squares on it, okay? 100 squares. Okay? So this is one what? One what? 100s. How many hundreds did we say? Okay, so it says show Holly's cards. How many hundreds does Holly have? Holly, what number is in her hundreds position? 3. So she has 3 100s, Okay? She has 3 100s. Then it says how many 10s does she have. So same thing. Each one of these little things, there are 10 squares on there. Okay? What number is in her tens place? 306 tens. So she has 6 tens. Get it? So she has 3 100s, 6, because there's 6 of these, tens. And how many ones does she have? What's in her ones place? Ooh, she has 8. I haven't made these yet. So she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See those little dots? Those dots are just ones. Okay? So we have ones, tens, and hundreds. And remember, she has 8 ones because that's what's in her ones place. Oh, it's up here. Okay. So it says show the model shown. So this is actually already drawn on your paper. It says cross out the hundreds, tens, and ones of Dora's number. Dora has less. So to figure out, we're subtracting, right? So we're going to subtract from this how many Dora has, okay? And we've already done the work here. How many hundreds does Dora have? We figured out she had 2. So we're going to take away 2 hundreds from Holly. What's left over? 1. We're going to take away how many tens? How many tens does Dora have? She has 4 tens. So we're going to take away 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. How many does that leave her? 2. And we're going to take away 3. 3 what? 3, what place are we talking about? 3 ones. If I can get these off the paper. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it says, what blocks are left? What's left over? Well, how many hundreds are there? How many hundreds blocks are there? There's 100 block. I don't know if you can see this up there. There's 1. Is that too bright? That's too bright. There's 100 block. How many tens are there left over? There are 2 tens. And how many ones are there? There are 5 ones. How many more cards does Holly have now? So this is our answer, right? We got a number. What does this number mean? Well, very start of the question, what are we talking about? We're talking about how many cards Holly has and how many cards Dora has. So now that it says 125, what are we saying here? We're saying that Holly had 125 more what? Cards than Dora had. We figured out by subtracting a 3-digit number. Okay? So, with us knowing that, it says sometimes you have to regroup 3-digit numbers to subtract them. Okay? So what they're trying to say is This way, when we took it away, it was fine. There were enough to take away. Now they're going to say, well, sometimes it's not going to be quite as easy. Instead, if we had 368 minus 243, what do we got to do first? We got to make sure we have enough post-it notes up there, right? So first we have, look at this top number. This top number is what goes up here. How many hundreds do we have in 368? How many hundreds? We have 3. And these are our hundreds, right? So 1, 2, 3. Okay? These are our hundreds. How many tens do we have here? 368. How many tens do we have here? We have 6 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how many ones do we have? 368. How many ones do we have? We have 8. So, what they're saying is, before we were able to take away the blocks and it was fine because we had plenty of them, right? Now it's a little different. Now we're going to try it. So we're going to take, we have 3. We're going to take away how many? We're going to take away the bottom number. How many hundreds are we going to take away from here? 2. We're going to take 2 hundreds. 1, 2. Okay, we're subtracting, right? How many tens are we taking away? So we have 6, which is that top number. How many are we taking away? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So, we get over here. We have 8 here, and we take away 3. 1, 2, 3. So that one still worked out pretty well, right? Right? Yeah. So now we can count this up. How many hundreds do we have? 1. How many tens do we have? 2. How many ones do we have? 5. What if we changed one small thing? Instead of saying we're going to subtract 243, we're going to subtract 249. That's not that much of a difference, right? Instead of subtracting 248 or 243, we're subtract 249. That's not that much. It's just only 6 more, right? It's not too much. Here's where it gets tricky. We can still remove 2 100s. That's easy. Boom. That's the same. We then can remove 4 10s. That's the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it wants us to remove how many ones? How many ones are here is it asking for? It's asking for 9 ones. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can we take 9 away if we only have 8? No, right? There's not enough to take away there. So, you have to think, well, what can we do? We know the number is big enough. We know that 368 is bigger than 249, but for some reason we can't subtract with the ones. That's what this lesson is about. This is what they want you to do. They want you to borrow. They want you to take one of our 10s. This is a 10, right? This long strip. And this long strip is actually made up of what? It's made up of a whole bunch of 1s. So they want you to take this strip from a 10s and turn it into, how many 1s are in that 10? They're 10. So we can now that we broke this one up, we've broken up that 10, we can now bring them over to 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what we've done is we've taken this 10 and we've broken it up and turned it into these 1s. Same number, same amount, right? If you had a string of Legos that were made up of a whole bunch of little bitty 1x1 blocks, well, one stick of it would be worth 10 of them, but then if you broke it up, you'd have 10 small ones. That's what we've done here. We've taken one 10 stick and turned it into 10 ones. So why did we do that? Remember, why did we do that? We did that because we couldn't take away 9 from 8. We don't have 9 anymore. How many do we have? We had 8, and we had a 10. So now we have, what is 8 plus 10? Now we have 18. We have 18 of them. That's more than 9, right? So we can now get rid of 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can take those away. Now that we've taken them away, we do all the same stuff, right? How many hundreds do we have? We only have how many 100 blocks? 1. How many 10 blocks do we have now? We only have 1. How many 1 blocks do we have? We got rid of these. How many are left? We have 1, 2, 3. We have 9 1 blocks left. Okay. So what are we talking about? This is it. We've got an answer. 119. But what were we talking about this whole time? Well, we were still talking about what is 368 minus 249. We know it's how many hundreds left? 1. How many 10s left? 1. How many 1s left? 9. So 368 minus 249 is 119. So there's a lot of work on this one, and I've only been able to get through pretty much the introduction of it. But I really want you to focus on, they're going to give you a question, right, on page 128. They're going to say, hey, 305 is equal to 300 plus 5. Okay, what about it? Well, they're trying to make sure that you understand that whenever you get a problem like that, you're looking at this diagram. 300s, 1, 2, 3, plus those 1s. Okay? If you need to get out paper, if you want to get post-it notes like I did, you can. Even if you're doing this on the computer, please try and get a piece of paper to work this out. Use the diagrams. Okay? And remember, you're thinking of them in terms of the place value. Hundreds, tens, and ones. Just make sure. Okay. Another part is they have the less than or greater than symbol. Okay. They're using the less than. Don't get afraid because that doesn't seem like that would fit here. They're doing the same things. They're saying that when you have 368 minus 243, they're going through each number. Which one's bigger, 3 or 2? Which one's bigger, 6 or 4? Which one's bigger, 8 or 3? Whenever the number on the top, whenever the single digit is bigger on the top, you're going to have to borrow. Take your time with it. And what do I always say in class? Once you get your answer, if you think that 368 minus 249 is 119, check your work. How do you check your work? You would add 119 to 249. If that comes back after the other number, you know you're right. Even if you're 100% sure, even if you did it like that, even if you can go ahead and do the work without pulling out the blocks, if you can just do it like this, remember to check your work, okay? All right, so that is the end of our week 4 math. Hope everyone has a good week, and I should talk to you soon.